Hello, everyone. It's your friend Hallie, and I'm super excited about today because today we are going to dive into a great topic, and we often seek out outside validation and the results or what people tell us about how they feel about what we're doing can often stop you dead in your tracks when you're starting a business. And I'd like to give you some tools on what you can do to still get that outside feedback that you're looking for, but don't allow it to validate your future and the success you are looking for. So let's dive into that. Okay, so right now you might be in the process of thinking of a business idea and you're really excited about it. And I get it. It's exciting time. So I often see people who go out and they start to say, hey, what do you think of my business idea? They'll go to their mom, they'll go to their sister, they'll go to a friend, trusted friend, and they'll ask them, what do you think of my business idea of XYZ? And they get such mixed feedback that they get scared and they start to question themselves. And here's what I want to tell you guys. We often seek outside validation from people who have no idea what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And when they give you their feedback, it's negative because they are putting their insecurities onto you because it scares them. It's like my sister's a nurse, and if she called me and said, hey, Hallie, what do you think? Should I go stay on the diabetic floor or should I go on the stroke floor? I'd be like, what? Are you kidding me? Both of those scared the EBGBs out of me. You're crazy to even do that because that's not what I do. I start businesses. I am an entrepreneur. I'm not in the healthcare field. So she's asking for my opinion in something I have no expertise in, and I wouldn't even know how to answer that. So of course I'm going to put my insecurities in that, right? And I'm going to give them an answer based on my biased opinion of not knowing what it is she does. So do you see where I'm going with this? So if you're asking just anyone about your business idea, and they have no experience in that arena, you're not going to get good feedback. What I do recommend you do is that find somebody in a similar field and start asking them questions. So I help women turn their passions into profit and build online businesses through building online businesses. Great, right? So I might go to somebody who's a business coach or a business consultant or someone who's been in this space for a while and say, hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? They almost always want to help others. Don't go in with the idea of wanting something from them. Just ask them your questions. Just be frank and just be upfront and just say, what do you think of this? Do you think I'm doing okay by going this route? And listen to their feedback, okay? And because they've been through it. So when you do ask somebody to validate what you're doing, you want to do that. You want to ask somebody who has done something similar, not someone who has no idea what you're doing. You wouldn't go to your grandmother and say, hey, grandma, do you think I should start an online business? Because likely she hasn't been brought up in this online world, in this space, in the .com era, right? So she wouldn't know. So of course that's going to scare her. She thinks that's high risk, but it's not. So you want to ask somebody who's doing something similar. Okay, the next point I want to make is that it's so important to use your intuition as your internal compass. Okay, it is there to guide you. And if you learn how to tap into it and trust it, it will lead you where you want to go. Okay, so when we say intuition, people are like, it's trusting your gut. What people don't understand is your intuition by definition, and there's been so many studies on this, is past experience in your life over and over again that come to the surface and give you that nudge. Hey, this is where you need to go. This is where you need, you're not just coming up with this idea randomly. It's likely been introduced to you in your past. Perfect example. My very first book that I wrote, I was 9 years old, and it was on orange construction paper. I had colored pencils. I wrote it I did the illustration stick figures. I was so proud of that book. I so wish I still had it. But here's the thing. At that moment, at 9 years of age, I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be an author. Right there, I was setting an intention. And little by little, through my life, I would see little things that would spot up, and it would come back to me wanting to be an author. Might be at 15, might be at 19, might be at 23. And then when I wrote my first cookbook, and then my second cookbook, and then my third book was a traditionally published book where a publishing company came to me and said, hey, can you write a book with us? And that was where 30 years after I first had stated that I wanted to be an author, that is where I trusted my gut, because it had been presented to me so many times throughout my life. And I knew that ultimately that's what I wanted to do. I trusted my intuition and went for it and wrote a book. And I don't regret it, not one bit. It was such an amazing experience. So when your intuition shows up, and you trust it, you have to understand that it has been showing up. For me, it was 9 years old. And, I'm in my 50s now. And I'm still, so it's your past experiences that are coming up to the surface and guiding you and saying, okay, come on, there's a little nudge. You can do this, right? So trust your intuition, why you wanted to start this business, and why, don't doubt yourself, because again, when other people are giving you their insecurities of why they wouldn't do what you're going to be doing, that's exactly what it is. It's their insecurities. It has nothing to do with you. All right. It has everything to do with them and their insecurity of taking a risk of starting their own business. And by the way, it's not a risk. The way we align your core values with your business, it is the most organic and natural thing to do when starting your own business, because we're doing it with the right channels. And I talk a lot about that in my book. And speaking of my book, I am currently giving my book away for free if you're on my email list. So I will put this checklist below. I don't announce this anywhere. I'm so excited about this. But if you are on my email list, I have a digital copy of my book where we go into great details, setting you up for success of becoming an entrepreneur, and then showing you how to become an entrepreneur and start your business. So it's a great handy tool for you to get started. And we debunk everything we're talking about today, and it's really puts you on the right path. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link below the video. If you're watching this on my website, check below the blog post and there will be a link for you to sign up to get the free checklist. And within that checklist, in the email series is a copy of my book. So that's a way you can get your hands on it before it's even released. So I'm super excited about that. So let's jump back to wanting to trust yourself and trust that you are on the right path. And when you do want to seek out someone else's feedback, opinion, make sure you're doing it once again ask somebody who has been through what it is that you're about to go through, and ask them good questions. Listen to them. Respond. Don't go in wanting something from them. Just get their valuable feedback and then use that as a tool. Don't use that to define you, because again, your business aligns with your core values, and everyone's core values are different. That's what makes your business unique. It's unique to you because it aligns with your core values, and your core values are completely different than even the expert you're asking. So always come back to those core values. Ask yourself your why. Why am I doing this? Is it aligned with my core values? And trust your intuition, and it will put you in the right path to success. All right. So that's all I got for today. Until next time, I'm Hallie Cottis. Bye-bye.